In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to set up a simple inbound webhook that triggers the execution of a package in the COZYROC Cloud. I'll set it up so that adding a file to my Dropbox will trigger the webhook. I just want to tell you a little bit about the package I'll be using for this demonstration. We're looking at it here in Visual Studio. So I use the REST source component to get the highest level list of folders and files in my Dropbox. And so I'll show you a preview of what that looks like. So there's only 2 files and then the rest are folders. There's 14 folders. And then I'll use the REST destination component to write that list to a Google Sheet. Now we'll go over to COZYROC Cloud. Here you can see I've already uploaded my package. It's all set up here, all ready to run. And I just need to set it up to run using a webhook that'll actually trigger it to run. So first, for whatever application you want to set up the webhook for, you need to go do a little research and find their documentation about how to do that. So I searched for Dropbox webhook and I found this page. And here I have highlighted that it needs to do a verification request when you first set up your webhook. And in this case, it's going to use a query parameter called challenge. And it also goes on to say that need to set the context type to text/plain, and then also says something about some other options. So if you look at COZYROC's documentation about the cloud and webhooks, here I'm in the part about webhook response, and it gives the example for SharePoint, which has a similar type of verification step. And in this case, they use something that looks like this: webhook query.validation token. And I'm just going to do something slightly different. And I actually put the word challenge because that's what Dropbox says it uses. So I'll just copy this. And then I'll go back to the COZYROC Cloud and I'm going to select the package and go down to Add Trigger and choose Webhook here. And then I need to give it a name. This will be Trigger Execution based on Webhook. And then I'll go down to response and I change this to text/plain as it showed me to do in our documentation, and then I paste in that response that has the word challenge there after query. And then I click on create, and now you can see it generated a URL here, so I'm going to click on this icon to copy that URL. And up here it tells me that the webhook was created and that I have successfully copied the URL to the clipboard. Now I'll go back over to the webhooks description in Dropbox, and I'm going to click on App Console here. And if this was my first time in here, I would click on Create App and then just give it a name. I've already done that, so I called it COZYROC Cloud. So I'll click on that, and then here I'll scroll down, and where it says Webhook URIs, I'm going to paste in. I already have a webhook there, but I'm going to put in this new one. So I pasted it in there, and I click on Add, and it verified, so that means that my query challenge was acceptable. Now I will go back up here and go to the Permissions tab, and you need to select the types of events that will cause the webhook to trigger. I probably selected more things than I needed to here, So you'll have to decide, depending on the app you're working with, what needs to be selected to trigger the webhook when you want it to be triggered. So now I will go back to settings, and it turns out even though Dropbox doesn't tell me I need to do this, I do need to do it in order to get my webhook to work correctly. So I click on Generate for Generated Access Token, and I'm not actually going to use it. And now everything should be set up for my webhook over here. I will go ahead and save it again in case I didn't before. And now I'm going to add a file to my Dropbox, which should trigger execution of the package. So I'm just going to pick something here, a PDF file, and say open. So it says it uploaded 2 files. I think there was one uploaded earlier. And I'll close this. And now if we go over to the COZYROC Cloud and I go to packages, we look at the package that I just set up the trigger for, and it says it just ran at 2:15 on June 21st. And it is 2:15 on June 21st, so it did trigger the execution of my package. And here's what the list looks like in the Google Sheet where the package wrote the list. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow us on social media, here's how you can do that.